Hey y'all, welcome back to Basics by Barbara Ann. Today we're going to be making meatloaf. Cost efficient and it's going to be good. These are our ingredients. We got cornstarch, we got garlic powder, we got onion powder, we got black pepper, we got chicken stock, we got chicken base, we got baguettes, we got milk, we got an egg, we got garlic, we got onions, and we got 3 pounds of ground turkey. All right, y'all. So before we get started, I'm gonna put on my gloves. I already washed my hands, and I'm gonna put on my gloves because I just got a thing about smashing stuff up. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take 1 tablespoon of garlic. And I'm gonna put that in. We're going to take 2 tablespoons of onion powder. And we're going to put that in. And if you notice, I don't use salt. I found that with some ingredients, you don't really need all that salt. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. 1/2 a teaspoon of my chicken base. It just gives it a little more flavor. I'm going to take my milk, that's 3 tablespoons of milk, and I'm going to pour it over top of the baguettes so that they'll break up a little more. I don't want them real hard in my meatloaf. We're going to beat our egg up, which is 1 egg. Beat it well. And pour that in the meatloaf. Get rid of some of the stuff. Okay, while that milk is soaking, I'm gonna cut up my onion. That's gonna go on the meatloaf. And we're just gonna cut up, doesn't really matter. It don't have to be real big pieces, and they don't have to be real small. But you just wanna cut them up finely. Okay. And we're gonna add that to our meatloaf base. Okay. Now I have just cleaned up my workspace and I've added my onions. So now we're going to the next step, which will be our bread. We're gonna take and we're gonna smash that up. Remember, we added the milk to it to make it softer because I use baguettes, but you can use regular bread if you choose and add that to it. But I like the baguettes. So I just crumbled them up. And the milk has soaked into them, but they're not like mushy. Okay, so now I'm gonna add that to my mixture. And I'm gonna add my last item, which is my minced garlic. I'm gonna add that into my mixture. Clean up your area as you go. Clean it down. Okay, so now I added the baguettes and now I'm mixing. So I'm gonna get all those ingredients incorporated into my turkey. And this smells absolutely wonderful. So we just get it all mixed in real well. Make sure it's good and incorporated. The egg and the bread holds the meatloaf together so it doesn't fall apart when you're cooking it. So that's the purpose of your egg and your meatloaf. Okay. So now we have everything mixed and incorporated in our turkey. So now we're gonna mold our meatloaves. And we're doing mini meatloaves. And all you do is pick up some of the meatloaf, roll it like a ball, and put it in your pan. Real simple. And working with the gloves helps because the meatloaf, the mixture will stick to your hands. So it does help. And you just roll the meatloaves. Real simple. All right, y'all. Now we done got our meatloaves all made up. We were able to get 9 meatloaves, hand-sized meatloaves, out of 3 pounds of ground turkey. So our last step before the oven is we're going to put in some of our chicken stock because turkey doesn't have a lot of fat. And I need a broth to make the gravy. So we're just going to put a little bit in. You can eye it. No measuring for this part. You just want to make sure that the bottoms are covered. And that's it. That's all you need. You don't need any more than that. Put the lid on it. And we're going to put it in the oven. And our oven is at 350, so it's a hot oven. And we're going to prepare and get that meatloaf put in this oven. Sit it right in the middle on your top rack. And the meatloaf is going to cook for 1 hour. So you want to set your timer for 1 hour. Okay? And then we'll check back shortly. All right, it's almost at, there the buzzer, there the buzzer. The meatloaf is done. So let's pull it out the oven. Oh, it smells delicious. Okay. We'll uncover it, and that's our mini meatloaf, our turkey meatloaf. All right, you see we have that broth in there that I was telling you guys about. So now we got an added bonus today. We're gonna make the gravy to go with the meatloaf. And it's real simple, not hard. First of all, we're gonna take our leftover stock, right? I'm not even gonna add water. And we're going to put, let me get a spoon. We're just gonna put a couple of tablespoons of cornstarch in the bowl. You can use flour if you like. I just use cornstarch. It gives you a lighter gravy. Then I'm going to add the water, the stock, and I'm gonna mix that, whisk that up. Okay, and that's all I'm gonna do. Not much at all, just enough to get it dissolved. Okay, so that's done. I'm gonna take the meatloaf. Make sure y'all follow me. And I'm going to take the meatloaf and I'm going to pour off the juice. Okay. And this is what I'm going to use the broth for my gravy. I'm going to turn that on medium heat and let that come to a boil. And it shouldn't take long because the broth is already hot. I'm going to come back and I'm going to get my cornstarch, which is going to go into this broth. Okay, so we put our cornstarch in there and now we have the consistency that we like. I don't like a real thick gravy, but this is good. And what's gonna happen now, we done whisked it, it's ready to go. We're gonna take it and we're gonna pour it over top of our meatloaves. So let me get my hot gloves. I'm gonna take it from the stove, and we're gonna bring it back to our meatloaves, and we're gonna pour it over top. Nice and thick and good. Welcome back to Basics by Barbara Ann. Our meatloaf is finished. Our gravy is done. I hope you're excited, just as excited as I am about this dish. we're getting it ready for serving. So you have your meatloaf. That meatloaf looks so good. You top it off with some gravy. And you can add anything you like to go with this dish. Rice, potatoes, or whatever you like. But I'm telling you, this meatloaf should be wonderful. And you have your meatloaf, and I'm gonna taste it.